So today in this video I want to talk a little bit about cyanobacteria. Well, what are cyanobacteria? I want to give you some basic information about these interesting life forms. Hello and welcome, Microbehunter here, and some traditional microbe hunting today. For those of you who do not know me yet, I'm Oliver and I like to put things under the microscope, for example, like those interesting little cells that you see here in the background, which are, yes, cyanobacteria. Well, what are they? Well, cyanobacteria are, as the name already implies, they are bacteria. However, they share certain similarities with algae, and for this reason, cyanobacteria used to be called blue-green algae, but, and that's important, they're not really related to the algae at all. Cyanobacteria are photosynthetic bacteria, so they do catch sunlight, and they do photosynthesis, and they produce oxygen, as we're going to see, just like the algae. And therefore, for many years, they were kind of dumped together into the same taxon, into the same category. And for this reason, yeah, actually, they were called blue-green algae, even though they're not algae. Well, one of the important differences is that cyanobacteria, they do not have a nucleus. And this means that when you look into the cell, then the DNA is floating around freely inside the cell and it is not surrounded by a nucleus. Algae, the true algae, however, they have a nucleus and they also have a range of other cell organelles. Of course, chloroplasts, mitochondria, and so on. Well, cyanobacteria, they are quite well known because they produce quite a lot of oxygen. And as a matter of fact, the air bubble that you see over there, that's actually not really air. It is pure oxygen that the cyanobacteria are producing. And of course, it's in time lapse. So in reality, the oxygen bubble only grows very slowly. But I hope that you get the point. A lot of oxygen is being produced this way. However, not all cyanobacteria are, free of problems. Some of them actually produce so-called cyanotoxins, and those cyanotoxins are poisons that can be quite problematic. As a matter of fact, cyanotoxins belong to some of the most potent and strong poisons known in nature. And yes, there are even documented cases that where animals have taken in water contaminated with cyanobacteria, that indeed they have died. And humans that swim in lakes or ponds that contain a lot of these toxin-producing cyanobacteria may actually experience some skin rashes and problems. So yeah, do not swim in water that evidently contains a lot of green cyanobacteria. Now, those cyanobacteria that I found here, I found them in a nice, beautiful mountain lake floating on the surface of the water. The sun was shining, so it was quite warm. Evidently, the lake must contain a lot of nutrients. And of course, this means that the cyanobacteria were able to reproduce quite nicely. I suppose that those cyanobacteria here belong to the genus Microcystis, based on their shape, and those cells, the individual cells, they are not completely separate, but they grow in a colony surrounded by a gel-like substance that holds everything together. The individual colonies can be seen quite easily with the unaided eye. They're approximately 1 millimeter in diameter. Now, of course, it's interesting now to explore the differences between cyanobacteria and the true algae a little bit more. Is there a way that you can see the difference even without a microscope? Yes, indeed there is, because the true algae in many cases are filamentous. It means they grow in long strings and they tend to form dense algal mats that float on the surface of the water. Cyanobacteria, however, even when they grow in colonies, they are basically not so in long strings, but can also be separated more easily. So what I have done is I simply scooped a little bit of water from the surface of the pond. And under the microscope, this is of course what I found. And upon observing it a little bit longer, I also discovered that not all of the colonies are green. You'll notice here, quite a few of them actually are white. And this is a little bit, a mystery to me, why they're white. Initially, I thought that maybe these could be specialized cells, because sometimes cyanobacteria do form specialized cells. They're called heterocysts. And very often they're used for fixing nitrogen, the nitrogen in the air, and it's converting it into a form that the cells can use as nutrients. And I was kind of wondering, maybe we also have some of those specialized cells here, but I'm not quite sure about that. And for this reason, yeah, if you know why some of the colonies are white, then please write a comment in the description below to clarify this little mystery here. Well, if you are interested in seeing some true algae, especially those with a spiral-shaped chloroplast, then I do have a video here that you might click, and the place where I found those algae was quite unusual, not in a pond, but in a small puddle in the forest. And it was very moist and wet, and I found some of those algae there, so if you're interested. But for today, I think that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope it was interesting for you. Happy microbe hunting as always, and see you around next time. Bye bye.